and welcome to the 6th episode of the One4U audio show, hosted by yours truly, the Dashing Adnan. Here on YouTube as the One4U show, here on Twitter at the Dashing Adnan, and on Vine, Adnan Qureshi. Check out my Vines, I think I'm doing pretty funny with those. But how's everyone doing? I'll tell you how I'm doing. I'm doing pretty good. Still got the One4U show going strong here. Got another episode with over 100 views. Episode 4 is over 150 views, and I can only thank all of you guys for your support and for helping make that episode what it is, and hopefully to continued support will keep this show running for as long as I can. For those of you who have never been here for this show before, welcome. If it's your first episode, the One4U audio show. Show about gaming, a show about pro wrestling, a show about life, show about Adnan, and a show about anything that I just wanted to talk about. Welcome. I appreciate your support and look forward to your continued support. So what are we going to talk about today, you say? Let's start with the big thing. This week, the week that this episode is coming out, Grand Theft Auto 5 finally hit the market. Probably like one of the biggest games of this generation, bar none. It's already gotten so much money put into it. It's considered to be the most expensive video game ever made. It made up its own money in its own pre-orders. That was insane. And it's made already, it's Friday when I'm recording this, and it's already made $1 billion. The game came out Tuesday. In 3 days, Grand Theft Auto 5 has made $1 billion. That is an impressive feat for anything, for a video game, for a movie, for anything. In 3 days, we have $1 billion for Grand Theft Auto 5, and I applaud Rockstar for that. I mean, that's a hell of an accomplishment. You can't take that away from him. And it's a deserving accomplishment. I want to give you my first impressions on Grand Theft Auto 5. It's really good. It's not hard to believe that, it's really good. It's a really fun game. There's a lot of things in that. Being someone from the Los Angeles area, having driven around downtown LA and such, it's a trip to me driving around Los Santos and the San Andreas area and just looking at all the detail that's in the cities, but just looking at how similar it looks to Los Angeles. And just like driving by going like, I feel like I've been here before, and now it's a trip, like especially being on the freeways. I'm looking at the freeway signs and feel like I've like read these freeway signs before. I feel like I've been here, I've merged here, and there's probably a homeless dude right there that I've probably given change to. Oh, there he is. Oh, some graffiti here. I might have put that graffiti on the wall. That's really bad that they put that in there. Oh my goodness. But there's so much in the world. It's so alive. It's full of life. There's so many things to do. There's just so many things to see too. And I haven't even really ventured into the non-real city parts of the world that have like a lot of backcountry and animals and such like that. It's just a huge world. And I'm saying this as someone who has never played like World of Warcraft or a Skyrim. I don't know how big those worlds are in comparison, so I don't have anything like that. Please forgive me for that. But Grand Theft Auto 5 is absolutely huge, and it's full of life, and it's full of character, which a lot of games miss too. It's a world that you're very interested to just be in. Because I found myself just like I walked along the pier, and I saw like two people talking, and I was just compelled to sit there and listen to them talk for a little bit, because every one of even these NPCs, they have something to say, and that could be entertaining. It could be just a hey, fuck off because you're in my way. It's like, oh, well, that's something that would actually happen to you, like just walking down the street sometimes. You never know. And so Grand Theft Auto 5, an absolutely huge accomplishment by Rockstar. I don't think I'll be doing a full review on it. I don't think I intended to make this show about reviewing. But I will say first impressions are really good. If I have anything else to say about it, I'll say it in a future show. But I would definitely, if you're in the market for a new Grand Theft Auto game, I think this game is more of a revolution for Grand Theft Auto rather than just purely an evolution. It's really good, and if you're looking for good open world games, just a fun game, and you're an M-rated player over, because there's a lot of M-rated things in this. It's fantastic. The story's pretty cool so far. The voice acting is wonderful. The world has so much charm and character. It's really great, and I applaud Rockstar for the hard work that really did go into this, and for their early success in what is definitely a Game of the Year contender for sure. Whether it will end up being Game of the Year at the end of the year, we have 4 months to really find out. My thoughts on that, I'll probably, if I do an end of the year show about Game of the Year, I'll probably give my thoughts on that then. It's also too early for me to tell, but so far Grand Theft Auto 5 definitely solid. Would do business again. So let's move on to what I wanted to make the topic of today's episode. Other than Grand Theft Auto 5, we live in a time where we have many different games that somewhat go overshadowed, don't necessarily get looked at, and we also are living in a time where we are trying to save money. So I like to call this segment Low Budget Gamer. Maybe I'll make a graphic. If I don't make a graphic, then there'll just be some generic thing. I'll just put the logo back up, maybe, if I don't make a graphic. But maybe I'll make a graphic. So in any case, this little piece here I'm going to call Low Budget Gamer, and what I'm going to do is highlight one game that's on the 360, one that's on the PS3, and one that's on the Wii U. And each one of these games is going to be either $10 or less. Because I feel like, players, we don't have a lot to spend as much as we used to. We always make these huge purchases, like a $60 investment in Grand Theft Auto 5. That's pretty big. $60 investments in other games. We got Batman coming up, and then the new consoles are coming up. And we don't always have, money to spare. Sometimes some of us got bills. I just paid some bills yesterday. Some of us have loans and stuff like that. So it's really a hard time to get the $60 for full retail sometimes. But there's a lot of really great titles and that you can look at, and what I'm looking at specifically right now is the downloadable market that are an affordable price that I think are worth your time. So I wanted to highlight 3 of these titles for you. So let's start with the Xbox 360. This will be the cheapest of the 3 that I'm going to be sharing with you all today. A little gem called Elo Milo for the Xbox 360 arcade. That game is $5 if you wanted to buy it today without a sale price. $5. It used to be $10 when it came out. It is currently a $5 price point, and I think that's an absolute steal for a game like Elo Milo. So let me explain to you a little bit. Elo Milo is a very cute-looking game that's also a very complex game, actually, because it's a bit of a puzzler. You have these 2 characters, Elo and Milo, and they're very cute. These little, fat-looking, bean-looking dudes. They look like they're made out of felt. The world looks fantastic. It reminds me of a little Big Planet, or it has a Kirby's Epic Yarn kind of feel. It just makes you feel good inside to look at this world. It's really it's all felty. It looks like it was sewn together, and it's really charming in that aspect. Nice little music. And what you have to do with Elo and Milo, little red and little blue kind of bean-looking characters, you switch between them, and the sole objective is to just get them next to each other. They just want to be together. Don't separate them. Let them be together, and the level ends. Sounds simple enough, but as you go on, it actually becomes a very kind of complex puzzle game just to get them together. And I think it's a really wonderful, really lighthearted title that I'm not sure a ton of people played, but I think it deserves some spotlight. And at $5, I don't think it's a game that you should miss out on. Elo Milo, it'll make you feel good inside, and the later levels will challenge you. There's one level to this day. No, there's 2 levels I haven't beaten. I've beaten every single level except, and they were bonus levels. I've beaten the regular game. 2 bonus levels I couldn't beat. So if I ever go back to that game and try and beat those, I really hope I can. But I think as a lighthearted game, as something that'll make you feel good inside, and something that's not going to hurt your wallet too much for $5, I definitely recommend picking up Elo Milo. It's got co-op too, so if you have someone you want to play it with, hey, if you're a couple, why don't you guys play it together? It's you guys want to be together, get these 2 together, express your love, express yourselves. So, Elo Milo, that's my first pick here on Low Budget Gamer. And let's move on now to a PS3 title. This is a $10 download for the PS3 by That Game Company. That's the name of that company. It's a game... they're the company that made Journey, very popular game, and before they made Journey, they made another gem called Flower. Flower, I don't think, got the attention that Journey did. Flower got a lot of rave reviews. I'm not sure how many people played Flower, but $10, it's a really interesting game where you literally play a flower that's dreaming, and it's a game that made use of the 6-axis controller that not a whole lot of games did. In this kind of aspect, you started off and you're dreaming and you're like a petal and you're in the wind, and it's got all this beautiful scenery like you've never seen PlayStation 3 horsepower render blades of grass quite as well as it did for Flower. And then you start and the wind blows you through and you end up collecting all these flower petals, and it just becomes majestic and whimsical, and this music starts playing like the more you get. and then the world is very black and gray and gloomy, and then as you travel through it, it starts to light up, and the colors they pop out at you, and it's kind of trippy. It's a little trippy. But it's absolutely wonderful and gorgeous, just like Journey was. How that experience like kind of took your breath away. Flower will do the same thing. It'll take your breath away with the things that you just see as like the flowers. They all start blooming, and the color just fills in. It makes you feel like you're out in the fresh air, even if you're sitting at home on your couch playing Flower. It's absolutely a wonderful title. I think that's another gem, and I think at $10, that's a really good title. If you're on a budget on the PS3, $10, I mean, there's a very good title. I think that deserves your time. And then the last title I'm going to highlight on for the Wii U is going to be a little game called Little Inferno. Little Inferno started out at $15. That game recently got a permanent price drop to $10. Little Inferno was a game that I wasn't expecting too much out of. I got it before when it was on sale at $10, and now it's officially at the normal price of $10. Little Inferno is a game where it's got a story that unfolds to you in a so interesting way. What you are is someone at home who lives with this fireplace called, I think it's called the Infernotron 5000 or something like that. But this world is very cold, and so people just have these fireplaces, and we just burn stuff. And so you get a little Inferno catalog of just stuff you order at home, and you just set them on fire. Why? Because that's what keeps you warm. You literally set like toy cars and like spiders and like building blocks and like small nuclear bombs and the sun and the moon and like weird random objects, and they burn. That sounds really strange, but it's oddly entertaining because you're just burning all these strange items into a fireplace, and that's really all you do from a gameplay perspective, which sounds kind of dumb, but then you start to build up these combos if you burn certain things together. Like you burn a bicycle and like a toy doll together, and it's like a certain combo or something like that, and you get these little rewards. And it has this very odd story that unfolds to you because you keep getting these notes from your neighbor who's kind of creepy. But as you keep getting these notes, it actually becomes a quite interesting and compelling kind of tale, and it has a very interesting end to it. And I think it's a very different game. If you're looking for a game that it's literally just, it's not hard to play. You're just going to sit there and you're going to burn stuff, but you're going to feel oddly compelled to get enough coins to burn all the new items and burn everything to see what they do, because everything you burn has a different kind of effect. And so it's very strange, very different, very quirky, but I think deserving also of your attention. I've said that a lot today. At $10, I think if you're a Wii U owner, I think you owe it to yourself to look into the Wii U downloadable shop and pick up a copy of Little Inferno for $10. I think if you're looking for something different, if you want, if between your rounds of the Wonderful 101 and The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, I think Little Inferno absolutely worth your time. And I think that segment was really important. I wanted to share those three titles with you guys. They're three titles I wanted to get out there and spread the name of, and hopefully you guys will download and buy those titles, and then agree with me that those titles are all worthy of praise, all worthy of attention. And I think at the price point, they can't be beat. They're not going to break your wallet. $10 to $5. You skip lunch a day and you have enough for Elo Milo, for example. And I think they're all really wonderful titles that I think you should open your minds and your hearts and give a try. And when I'm thinking about budgetary reasons, because now we're moving on to the next gen, bringing all the way back to pricing again, where we've heard from the first parties from Sony and Microsoft that means that they're saying that the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 titles are going to remain at $60. And what I hope that means is that this gen's price point will drop down to $50, a $10 price point, because when given the choice, I don't see the reason why you would ever want to buy Assassin's Creed 4 for $60 on the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. So I really hope that happens. And I wonder how that's going to affect Nintendo's pricing structure from now on, because the Wii U is more so remotely powerful to the current gen rather than the next gen. So I'm not sure how long they'll be able to get away with still charging $60 for their titles. So it's going to be a very interesting console generation. Be smart with your wallets, everybody. That's why I made this episode. Always be smart with how you buy things. I think that's just a good general rule. I think, though, however, $60 on Grand Theft Auto, I don't think that's necessarily a terrible deal because of the fact that you already have so much content already going into it. It's going to take up a lot of your time. But then if you're into the market for those smaller titles, look at those three. Elo Milo for the 360, Flower for the PS3, and Little Inferno for the Wii U. All right, before we wrap up today's episode, I'd just like to give a shout-out to my friend Michael and Tim over at TMI Art Productions. That's their YouTube channel. They do a show called TMI, the Tim and Michael Information Show for artists, and I recently recorded a couple of episodes, went over to their place, did a couple of episodes with them. Those episodes will come out relatively soon. I'll link them in as soon as those episodes are up. So if you would like to, I'd say go over and check out their channel. They got a lot of really great advice for artists out there, and I think their show is very interesting. Give them a subscribe, a like, tell them I sent you, and then I'll also direct you guys there when the episodes that I have guest starring coming up on will come up. So other than that, usual plugs, follow me on Twitter at @the_Adnan. Rate, comment, subscribe to my channel, rate, comment on the video, give me your feedback, give me your questions, let me know how I'm doing just in general. Thank you once again for supporting the show. All of your support is absolutely wonderful, and I appreciate it. I really do from the bottom of my heart, and it makes me good that I'm doing this. And so, just let me know what you thought of today's episode. Let me know what you might want to see on upcoming episodes. Let me know your thoughts on GTA 5. Go and support Tim and Michael. Support me and follow me on Twitter again, at @the_Adnan. Follow me on Vine. Also, you'll see my Vines pop up on my Twitter. Follow me there if you have a Vine account. I think I'm doing funny stuff there, and let me know if I'm doing funny stuff there. So yeah, rate, comment, subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of One for You, because this one has definitely been one for you.
Priceless.